And I want to talk a little bit about this because when Rennie and I first started talking, we were focused on young women. It was like, we want to do some technology programming and get our young ladies into STEM, and like that's where we were looking. And I'm so excited that we do have 2 young ladies here, and I am equally excited that we have our young men here. Because when we connected with WiCS, they were like, well, you know, that's really a good thing in theory, but when they go to school and when they work, they're not just with all women, right? So we have to learn. Now, you may prefer to learn in an environment where you are just with young women, and that's great, because we're going to offer a session for young ladies, and we are going to offer a co-ed session. So we didn't want to leave anybody out, but we were really committed to trying to pull in our young women in particular. And so that was something that our partnership with WiCS informed us in, and we're just really happy to have been able to make that switch. So, our mission is to create after-school computer science class that encourage young men and women to succeed in technology, right? And we are a technology lab, but it's really more about access. It's pretty low-tech technology. But it's about access. You know, when the well was first created in the late 90s, there was this thing called the digital divide, and we found that many young people didn't even have computers in their homes. And now they're all walking around with a smartphone, but you can't do your homework on a smartphone, so many of them still do not have their own computer in their home. They might have a computer in the home that 4 or 5 people share, and maybe they don't have a printer, or they don't have the internet. And so when they come here, they have access to the internet, they have access to a printer, they have access to the tutoring and the help of staff. And so we try to create that environment where the technology and the access to that is not a barrier to their success in high school. And our goal is to enable young women and men to take full advantage of opportunities in technology. And so that's what I mean, like think about something that you're interested in, like music, whether it's art, music, whatever it is, veterinary medicine, hair design, whatever. And there's a way, I know, because there's a group of really smart people sitting here in front of me, there's a way that we can apply technology and computer science to it. So, that's me, right? I'm done. Yeah.
Well,
oh, good.
Is it? No, well, you have to do this one.
I have to do this one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So how to succeed. Again, the access to technology, we're going to be learning specific programming skills, and you'll be getting plenty of computer programming experience and exposure. So our goal is to create sessions where there will be a theme, and you'll be doing code, like you'll be writing, and you'll be working in computer science. We'll be working with mentors and volunteers, so that, like, if you get lost or are confused, there'll be somebody there to help you. So don't feel like you have to know it coming in, because you don't. But then the idea is that maybe at the end of the session we're going to take a trip to one of our businesses here from our partners that are sitting here in this room, or we're going to have somebody come in and talk about, what it is that they do, explain some of this language and these titles and terms that you've heard here tonight, right? So that you understand what that looks like. We haven't found that cool word for that job yet, have we?
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite.
So quiz. So there is a job title. And it's not the words we're going to use later on here. So there's a job title for the person who tries to mess up the code that the company is making.
QA.
No, not QA. That's boring. Everybody knows what QA is. There was a really cool job title that I heard this summer. It's not that, because we're going to talk about that a little bit later. All right, so now you got to go out and find it, because it's different.
Penetration.
Okay. So the idea, too, is that we want to kind of demystify this whole process, right? We want it to be fun, we want it to be social, we want it to be relevant to the things that you're interested in, right? And you're going to be working one-on-one, one-on-two with people who can help translate that for you. So this is a really big thing for us here at the Well. We are a positive youth development environment, and so we utilize the principles of positive youth development. And it is really important to us that we are working with our young people to raise their academic self-esteem and their confidence, right? And so here's some of where this language, I know that many of you who work in the industry have seen a lot of the literature with what happens to our young ladies when they get to high school or when they start looking at their college majors. They're not thinking about technology. They're not thinking about computer science. And one of the things that was fascinating in talking with Rennie is, her experience in her career was she didn't really notice. Like, she went to school for computer science, and she studied, and she worked in computer science, and there wasn't this dichotomy that I could tell. And now you see it everywhere in the literature, whether it's computer science or engineering or anything of that nature. So I'm really excited, in particular, that our connection with WiCS. Not that we don't have young men in WiCS too at NC State studying, but we are excited to have that partnership and really talk a little bit more about that. So, high achievement and success. So I want to balance that with, is it Bill Gates? No, it's not Bill Gates who didn't go to college. Who didn't go to college? He didn't.
No, he went to Harvard and dropped out.
Oh, that's right. He went to Harvard and dropped out. That's right. And Steve, right. So I am not standing up here to tell you not to drop out from college. Right? The parents are like, what are you talking about? No. If I could go back to school now, I would. I mean, if I could afford to be a lifetime student, I would be a lifetime student. But I want you to know that there are opportunities and avenues for you to work professionally at a career that is very lucrative, and to utilize some of these skills right now. We had this summer a couple of young people who were juniors at NC State. They weren't even in the PhD program. They were juniors. And they were working full-time during the summer as computer software engineers, right? Taking the skills that they just learned in the classroom and applying them. I mean, people are, as far as I can tell, people are hiring computer software engineers, anybody in computer science, engineers, and you can pretty much walk out of college and find something. Now, that's not to say you don't need to work at it. It's not to say that the college degree does not elevate you and give you another place and another avenue. There's all sorts of things you learn in college other than what you learn in the book, right? But, and I'm a parent who pushes their kids to go to college. Like, it's all about going to college. And there are going to be some young people who that's just really not their path, right? But they can develop skills and they can still work professionally. We want to prepare our young people to be good citizens and to be ready to be employed. And we hope that they go to college to do that. Otherwise, we want to make sure we've prepared them well in doing that. So how do we think about computer science? Here's you.
You know,
That's
she
right.
really does not want to be up here anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to switch places. And I'm Brittany. I'm a PhD student in computer science at NC State, as well as president of WiCS. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about, casually, interactively, hopefully you guys will get involved with me here, but talk a little bit about how we think about computer science, the typical things that we think about, and kind of get you guys to think outside the box with me tonight. Oh, it doesn't matter if you want to. Okay. You relax. It's cool. So, show of hands, how many of you have heard at least one negative preconception about computer science, which you might consider to be negative? Can someone give me an example of one?
Some of the things, like Big Bang Theory is, once that show came, it's not negative.
Right. Well, yeah. Big Bang Theory did help, but before Big Bang Theory, what are some things that people associate with computer science that may not be considered necessarily positive to everyone? To some, maybe, but not to everyone. Socially awkward. Does anyone ever get that one? Is it socially awkward? Do I look socially awkward to you guys? What you're about to say? Yeah, nerd, socially awkward. Really smart, but really can't hold a conversation. Those are just a few of them. There are a lot of them out there, unfortunately. So, I want to talk a little bit about how you guys think about success now. So, predicting success. In general, you want to have a passion for something, right? But in computer science, what do you guys think most people think about when looking at someone in high school and saying they're going to be successful in computer science in college? Like, what are some things you guys think people would point out?
They're gung-ho passionate about what they're doing.
That's a good one, actually. Yep. What else?
Highly inquisitive.
Highly inquisitive? These are good. These are actually the atypical ones. You guys are jumping the gun. Anything like stereotypical?
Logical,
Math.
Puzzles.
Puzzles. High GPA, right? So some of the typical predictors, gender, so white male, we have a few white males in here, but everyone likes to think that you think of a white male sitting at a computer, doesn't want to talk to anybody, in his shell, writing code all day, every day, high grade point average, probably graduated with a 4.0, right? High school rank, SAT scores, ACT scores, all these numbers and all other kind of stuff, and I will go ahead and tell you guys now, half of this was not me. Right, when I was in high school. So I can go ahead and tell you that up front. So let's kind of put a twist here. Like, what would you guys, and I heard a couple of good ones, but what would you guys think would be good, like, predictors of success in computer science, outside of the normal? Heard a couple good ones.
Good communicator.
Good communicator.
Imaginative,
that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Very good one.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so let's
our high school students, what do you think?
Right.
What do you think?
You'll be surprised. You'll be really
What's going to
surprised.
make you successful, whether it's in computer science or not?
In
What's going to
life,
make you
right.
consider? Come on, Will, you got one?
No.
No.
It's cool. They're being shy. It's fine. That's all right. Hopefully you guys will come back so we can kind of break you out of that too. But just a few. Self-motivation.